Welcome back. So this is the Java components module. So in this, you'll be knowing about all the components that make up Java. So let's go into it. So the first component is the Java development kit. The next is the Java runtime environment, and finally the virtual machine, Java virtual machine. So here in the diagram, you can see clearly that the Java development kit, it actually comprises all the others, the JRE and the JVM. So when you're downloading the JDK, you are automatically installing the JRE and the JVM. So now let me briefly take you, let me go into the brief introduction of what is the JVM. So JVM is a sandbox environment. That is, it does not communicate with the hardware directly, unlike other programs like C or C++. So what it does, from the flow you can understand, when you write a program, it compiles it. It uses a Java C, and then it uses a program name. When I compile it, it creates something called dot class. Now this dot class is actually a Java bytecode. This bytecode will go into a Java machine, and the Java virtual machine will interact with the OS to interact with the OS, and which will eventually interact with the hardware. So when the virtual machine runs, it does the following task. First, it loads the code, then it will verify the code and execute it, and then provide a runtime environment. So this is how the Java virtual machine runs. So next, we go into the runtime environment. So what is the runtime environment? It is going to, the runtime environment is going to give you the runtime. It is done in two ways. I'm not saying two ways, I mean in two steps. So first of all, it is converted into Java C, and the name, we go to Java C, and the name of the file, we give a name to the file. Then the moment I run the Java C and the file name, it now goes to the JRE. From here, you can see from the flow chart itself, you can see that once it goes to the JRE, it will now, since the JRE contains the JVM, what happens is the JVM now starts executing the file. So the moment I run Java and the file name, it will come to the JVM. Now JVM will check the bytecode verifier. Now once that is done, the Java interpreter interprets it, and it takes it to the compiler, that is a just-in-time compiler, to compile it and send it to the hardware. Now the main aim of the JVM is to convert the program, that is the program that we write, into machine language, because the machine can only understand in binary codes, that is 1010 and what so. So that is the whole process in which the JRE runs. Now next is the Java development kit. Now the Java development kit, as you can see from the diagram, it includes both the JRE and the JVM. So what it comes with, now the JDK comes with an interpreter, that is the Java, the compiler, which is the Java C, and a jar option. The jar feature is similar to a zip file that we are commonly used to. So what it does is, all the applications and the dependencies are saved in the jar file. And finally, if you want to do the documentation, we have the Java doc, which is a documentation generator. So this is the entire flow in which it works. First is the JVM, then is the Java runtime environment, and finally the Java development kit, which holds all the other two features as well as the development tools. So yeah. So once you install Java, what are the features that are automatically installed? So we have the Java C, which is the compiler, then the Java, which is the interpreter, then the Java doc, which as I've already mentioned earlier, is the documentation app, which helps you document the entire program. Then in case you want to use Java for a web browser, then you have the applet viewer, then the .jar tools, which is which contains all the applications and the dependencies, and a JDB, which is the debugger. So okay, let's stop here, and we can go. The next and final module will be running after this. Let's take a short break.